This meeting is being recorded.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you to another edition of 88 Point Fire. And we are, as always, joined with the lovely Sunfire Lotus. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm recovering.
Very well.
But I'm good.
You've sent me, of course, your life has been full of what we would call extraordinary phenomena. When it comes to pictures, when it comes to pictures that you've taken. Recently, you shared pictures of your father. You've shared recent videos of things taking place in the sky. And just recently, you shared with me a video where there's what is obviously, evidently, a dancing, what we people call UFOs. And or
what I would call a Merkaba.
Yes. I want the audience to know that because this video is probably going to be seen by as many people that I know on my friends list, many of you who are hearing this, who are members of the Nation of Islam or in the conscious community, we know that many of our leaders have told us about these ships, these planes, these Merkabas. And it is becoming an everyday occurrence where many people are seeing them, posting them, sharing their experience. And we happen to have Sunfire Lotus, who happens to be one of these individuals who has a constant communication, interaction. So tell us briefly about this particular video. And after we discuss this video, I'll ask you a few more questions just about your general interaction with many of the beings in these Merkabas. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, you're waiting on me?
Yes, I was saying I wanted
to. I apologize. I thought you were looking for something. Okay, so to set the scene up, we've done a couple of shows where I've loaded up either a video or some photographs of particular flying lights in the sky that I have photographed and filmed. And so I go out the other night. It was late the 6th going into the 7th of July, 7/7. And I knew there would be something mystical that would occur on the 7 and the 7. But I had so much going on that day. By the end of the day, I had forgotten it was what the date was. I go out there and I see one that's usually in a spot where it appears and just does a lot of strange things. So I had begun to film and photograph another Merkaba, or some people like to call them UFOs. That's unidentified. I know this is not an unidentified craft for me. So, but something told me that there was another one in the sky. I had been out there on a previous night, and my phone wasn't able. I had to unload and go buy more space to be able to have even any more pictures. But there was another one out in this area where there hadn't been one before, and it was just flying around. And so I came inside to get my other phone, and by the time I went back out, it was gone. Mm-hmm. And so this particular night, I happened to have already been filming when this, I guess it's the same one that appeared again. And so I started filming it. Now, at first it wasn't flying around. It was just, it was a stationary star so I thought, but it began to move around. And so then when I started filming it, it flew off to the right and then it flew back. And it kept flying away like it was going to leave, but then it would come right back to the middle. And then it flies. What you're going to see is, so I'm on my balcony this is the vantage point that everybody is getting. And so what you're going to see is it will fly over my balcony, over the top of my building. And so what you will see when is it flies in the sky, and then there's like the ledge of the building, and then it just flies over.
Wow.
And I was just amazed. Even though I've seen them a lot, I'm never scared and I never scream, but I am always, there's a sense of amazement and awe. I mean, when you look at how many sunsets have we seen, and they're always beautiful. They're always amazing. It's always just awesome. So, yeah, that's the feeling. So, you know, if you want, do you want to load it up and let's check it out?
I'm loading it up right now, and I'm going to let it run for the 3 minutes, and I'm starting it right now. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see this black screen?
Yes.
All right. I just hit the play buttons. So narrate through us. There it goes. I see it.
Okay, so as you see, there's a light flying around.
Right there.
And it's moving, yeah. And it moves places. See, it's here, then it'll dot in. Look, now it's back over here. Now it's back over here. Now, clearly, that's not how any craft that you or I know that you can pull up flies.
Right.
Normally, everything flies that we can say exists flies in a straight line because it's going from one place to the next.
That's right.
This just appears and reappears at random spots, and it's not even making turns. It's just I popped in, I popped out. I popped in, I popped out.
Yeah, there it goes again.
And then it flies. You're going to see. And it's going to play around for a while. It plays around for about a little over 3 minutes. And it kind of told me that it was going to fly over the building.
And
I was prepared for it.
So from where you are right now, you're on your balcony?
Yes.
Wow. And how close would you say that the light, the ship is, the Merkaba is?
Well, I'm going to say maybe 1,000.
Okay, because now it looks like you just went on, you're moving the camera now, and
because it flew out of the range.
Yes.
And so I went to find it again.
Wow.
Now have you noticed it changes colors?
Yes.
Like it's blue, it's green, it even sometimes it's pink, red, white, green. It changes colors.
This is fascinating.
And different shades of colors. It'll be different types of blues. And I've loaded up like, you know, when we're watching a video, we're watching an object moving in real time, and our brains can stop the frames, but we can't. Now watch. Now you watch how things are getting. Did you see the purple come in?
Yes. Wow.
The matrix is coming in. Now watch this. Where are we at on time of the video?
The video is about 2 minutes. There's about 50 seconds left.
Okay, yeah, it's not until like maybe the last 20 or 10 seconds that it flies away, but it will continue to, it moved off the screen, so I had to locate it again. I'm looking for it.
Mm-hmm. This is fascinating. That looks like the side of your...
Oh, wait, that's the ledge.
Yeah.
So now let's see.
There it is.
Watch.
Wow. There it is. I see it. Wow. So for anybody who, you know, because, oh, hold on, let me put my light back on. You know, one thing that, as I shared with you, it is the government of the United States they've come out and they've admitted that yes, these things are up in the sky, and they've seen the ones of many different sizes, and many people like yourself have these interactions with them. I want you to share with the audience kind of what it means to you, and why do you think they show themselves to you? Because these things are super intelligent and they show up for certain people. Not everybody really gets a chance to see them, and if you see them, it's because they want you to see them.
Yes. So there's a couple of different reasons why they are interacting with me, and they probably have different reasons, multiple reasons that they interact with other people, but I'm going to speak with myself because I'm most familiar with that. And so long before I ever had any interaction with them, I knew they existed. I was very intrigued with the pyramids, and I already knew as a child, before all this research, that all the pyramids were connected. As a child, I knew it was a global civilization, and I knew the pyramids were connected to extraterrestrials. Now, all this was just on thought. I hadn't seen anything that led me to believe this. Now, mind you, I have a rare blood type. If you go research the blood type, there's many theories out there. Everything from fallen angel blood to alien blood to just so many different things out, theories about this blood. It's part of the reason I'm recovering right now, because I've sustained so many medical mistakes due to the fact that the government researches people with this blood type. They don't even hide it. If you research, they have a whole program where they talk about the CIA is tracking people with this blood type. So now you got to ask yourself why. Okay. So now I think part of the reason is tied into this connection. So now, first of all, everybody, thinks of aliens as, there's these, green people or these little green men but see, what we don't understand is there's species of these extraterrestrials. There's a hierarchy of these extraterrestrials, and there's a human hybrid connection to these higher life forms. And a lot of these people look like you and me. These ancient pharaohs, these ancient Olmecs, these your ancient people in India, Krishna, Lakshmi, Kali, they rode around in Vimanas. Okay. King Solomon's carpet was a Vimana. Nebuchadnezzar had a Vimana. They all had spaceships. They've proven a long time ago that there's runways, there's places. They've even uncovered spacecrafts everywhere from the Arctic, Antarctica, Baghdad, where Saddam Hussein was. That was all about recovering spacecraft. Yeah. Now, mind you, this is not the same thing that I saw. Right. Because these are material, alloy, high technology vehicles for human forms to fly around in or traverse through time. Right. But these things that I am seeing are Merkabas. These are made purely of light. They're not metal at all. They completely defy anything that we could make. But the reason that I bring up the Merkabas and the ancients is because they are emulating these Merkabas with these things that they have made. So where did they get this knowledge? Because they are descendants of these people. Okay. So now there is such a deep story behind this, but now they've been delivering messages throughout time to different people as different warnings. Now we'll hear about in the Bible, oh, an angel came to so-and-so. But what you really start understanding is aliens are just different angelic life form, good angels and bad angels. So you have good aliens and bad aliens. That's why there's so much confusing, and they all get grouped in together.
So,
You
so
see,
from
and
what you, I don't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to stay on the issue because it's so interesting because there's something.
well, you know, I kind of set a little background because
well, no, that's fine.
you know,
That's
you
fine.
asked me.
I didn't want to get too far off because I want you to explain it, but we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down the list. So
Okay.
from what you're saying, because again, not everybody has these experiences. So you're mentioning you're a rare blood type. Is there anything else that, and also you mentioned when you were young, I imagine for someone to have this kind of connection with these beings, you're prepared as a young child.
And so then after I began, and I began to ask my father, because I was adopted, because I was taken off of the reservation, and you find out it's because of the blood type. They remove children all over the world with this blood type because they want their hands on them, but that's another story. So anyway, my adopted father was also, his mother was removed from the reservation, and she was Blackfoot, and he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and so very religious and very spiritual. And so I would ask my dad if the Bible talked anything about aliens. No, the Bible doesn't talk about aliens. And I would ask him, well, do you think they exist? And he was like, I don't know about that, you know? And so, you know, I began to want to try to find out, well, you know, because I knew they existed. I just knew in my soul. And then I did begin to have encounters, see them. Me and my brother would see them because I would show them to him. And I began to, we lived near a flight place. So at first, our parents were like, oh, those are planes. No, they weren't planes because they didn't fly like planes. Now, I didn't have the same type of encounters that I have now. Through the years, they've become more frequent. They've completely changed. Like, I never had encounters where, well, I couldn't film them either because some of this stuff only appears on the film. Like sometimes when I'm looking at them, I don't see the light. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I can see the lights. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'll see it moving around and it'll just be a yellow light or one color light, like a red light. But then when I film it, it will be changing colors. Or when it'll look like one color when I'm observing it, but then when I go and flash, remember I sent you all the photos, different photos of another one. Now when I sent you the 14 photographs, those aren't the photographs of this particular one.
Right.
But let's go back to the reasons for why. So now, through the years, like when they visit, there's a type of mind transference. I don't hear any voices. I don't feel like they've taken me up into a ship or anything like that. But I do feel like there's been a download, a knowledge download, something that affects me, my consciousness, my creativity, my overall being, my just everything, and I can feel it when it happens. Sometimes there are very strange things when I go to sleep. I told you about the planets one time, just coming out. Sometimes after seeing one, I'll go lay down, and the same ship that I was watching outside, when I close my eyes, I will now see like the night sky and continue to observe this.
Wow.
And this, I don't share this with a lot of people. This isn't just something I just tell a lot of people. I tell my family about it, people that are close to me because they know they've happened. People that are close to me have seen them. They've been with me when it's happened. And so even they aren't weirded out by it now because it happens so regularly and they've seen so many pictures and things, you know, but you can't just go around telling people, oh, I saw a spaceship. And then when I went inside and closed my eyes, I could still see the spaceship.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, a few, almost a month or so ago, a little over a month ago, when your father had made the transition, we had some pictures, and I will make sure the audience who's able can see those pictures, where there's not only things you see outside, but you also have very clear footage. Clear picture of your father's aura the evening he made his transition.
Yes, his Merkaba.
His Merkaba, yes.
Which I've captured a ship that almost looks identical to my dad's Merkaba. I even got to wondering if my dad was visiting me. Because so, you know, I observe a lot of things also. Like these things can be on the inside of the house also. Now it's a different type of Merkaba, and it's a different type of light spectrum, so they can't always be seen with the naked eye.
Right.
But they will pass in the peripheral of my eye, and it looks like a bright light bulb. Somebody's swiped a bright light bulb close, almost on the inside of my eye. And these are like some type of beings. And close to my dad's passing, he would see a lot of things. And I would like to do a video about it and share with some other people. But I was convinced that some of what he was seeing was real.
Wow.
Because whenever he would see the things, I could photograph pictures and there would be blue lights on the wall. And there's nothing in the room that's blue, that's lighting up. I would have the increased orb action in my eyes. And one of the persons that came back one day was my ex-husband. And an orb just came and just sat by my eye. And I asked that's how I knew that something had visited him. And I said, is anybody here now? And my dad said, yeah. And I said, who is it? And he said, Tracy. And I said, where is he? He said, right by you. Literally where the orb was by my eye.
Wow.
And so when my dad's passed away, his orb looked like the sun when it's setting. It was that pink, that beautiful pink that Sade calls the color of love. It's the color of life, the color of soul.
Well, in my time, for the audience, Sunfire Lotus and myself, we were married. And even before we married, we had a very deep connection. And what I have to attribute to that deep connection is I've always seen you as the type of woman who's extremely connected. I've given you the title Universal Connector because you're probably one of the first people that I've ever met that has as many fives in your name that I've never met anyone with 10 fives in there.
It is amazing because I have 3 5s on me right now, 1 on my altar and 2 in my purse. And I am going and 5 is going to be a big number in my next birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. And 5 has just been, an interesting number.
Well,
it was my most powerful number, right?
That's right.
I had more 5s than anything.
That's right. And what I saw in getting to know you, not only the stress of the medical profession, the medical malpractice, I also got a chance to see your art, your singing. And recently, this is just something that just totally kind of just took me by surprise, because there would be times when me and you would be in the grocery store and you'd shut computers down. And I want the audience to understand that Elijah Muhammad, many other speakers who came to talk to Black people spoke about the innate power of the original woman and the beauty of the original woman. And
I think that has something to do with the activity also. And so now, we have chakras in our body. And chakras are wheels of light.
Yes.
They're Merkabas. They're these vortexes.
Yes.
And this is why it's important to keep these things aligned properly, because they let in energy, and they depend on how they're aligned is what type of energy they attract and what type of energy they let in. But then when these are aligned properly, they create a vortex that allows a very powerful positive energy that can come in. All right. Right now, and it happened to be on the eve of the night that this happened. Okay. On the eve of this happened, I end up going to the hospital. It was a very powerful night. It was a very heavy night. 7-7. It was 7-6 when it started, and it went on into 7-7 is when these things started appearing. Okay, so it also, and I didn't know then, because I hadn't been following that because I've been focused on something else. And I don't listen to the news or any regular news outlet. I just have maybe every now and then particular people who broadcast news, and I'll go check out what they have to say and go look into different areas and see what's going on. But what I would find out on the 9th is that this particular day, they started CERN back up. Now, some people, I won't say most, because now a lot of people do know about CERN and they're trying to figure out what's going on. A lot of people are ahead of the curve and have already figured out what's going on, and people have figured different things out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
we have 2 minutes left.
Okay, so I don't think it's a coincidence that these things appeared to me on the night that CERN started back up. And the message that I got, there's always something transferred to me. But what was transferred to me is that there is getting ready to be an abuse of some high technology. Get your house in order. Okay, so then I find out, they're starting CERN back up. Now, I talked in another video when we were talking about solar flares about extinction level events. Well, one of these, I don't know how many different ones, but one of these particular extinction level events, there was misuse of a technology similar to CERN. It was pointed at the sun to harness the energy of a solar flare. And that's how the cataclysm went down. Now, what's the chances? Because this comes out of the Mahabharata. Now, they've got the dancing Shiva as one of the symbols over a gate that represents the gate of time. Now, we don't have enough time to get into it, but there's this thing called the Mandela effect.
Yeah. Well, we got about 30 seconds. We got about 30 seconds left. We're gonna have to do a different show because I want you to go ahead and go into detail on these subjects. So what I'm gonna do is, I want to thank you for your time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. And, we'll pick right back up.
You got it.